Scientists might have just created consciousness by growing.
This week, a federal court upheld a law that could result in TikTok.
The weapon is named the non-discernible.
I figured out what they doing, and I'm about to connect all the dots.
You have no idea.
I know who they are.
I told you the Matrix was right when it said 19.
What's up, ladies and gents? Hopefully all is well today. You know, we strive to do our best every single day, so hopefully I'm doing that for y'all with this content that I'm bringing y'all. It's informative. Always do your research. Always do your research. But we're gonna jump in. I think I got some great things I put together for us today. Please like, comment, subscribe. And we just gonna jump right in and do what we do. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me too. So let's go on do.
Scientists might have just created consciousness by growing brains in a jar and connecting them to a computer made from stem cells that were stimulated in a special way to form neural tissue, which grew and eventually formed structures and even brainwave activities similar to that of a premature human baby. They then hooked up this brain into a computer, connecting it into a virtual world where it learned to play Pong completely from scratch. I want you to realize what this means. Like, this isn't a computer bot that was pre-programmed to know exactly how to play the game. That's easy. It's an organic brain that they grew themselves that was given Pong with no instructions, and it just taught itself how to play, which is honestly nothing new. That's just AI, but this is organic AI, which happens to learn quicker and is also more energy efficient than traditional AI. It learned to play Pong in about 10 to 15 rallies, when a regular computer AI would take around 5,000. Albeit the computer AI can simulate those 5,000 rallies much quicker, but that takes a lot more computing power, which is sorta our main bottleneck with AI at the moment. Energy. This is organoid intelligence. Take human brain cells, grow them in a petri dish, and then use computers to train them just like AI. Naturally, there are ethical concerns rising as there is surmounting evidence showing us that these are conscious, like a human. Even the scientists working on it themselves admit these organoids are sentient. They took it a step further and tested out these organoid brains inside real physical robots, feeding them the sensory input of everything the robot experiences. And since the computer chip running it is organic brain matter, this technically by definition is a cyborg. Then there are companies like Final Spark that let you rent server space on these organoid brains, which essentially act like organic CPUs. You can even see live streams of the brain computers you're renting out. And now this next part right here, what they're doing here might actually prove simulation theory. So they have this virtual butterfly simulation that's controlled by the organoid brains, meaning the brains feel and experience everything the butterflies do. Again, the brains weren't trained or programmed how to be a butterfly. Just like they did with Pong, they were just fed the sensory feelings of being butterflies and kind of figured out themselves how to flap their wings and just exist. Much the same way you weren't pre-programmed to walk or talk. You experienced sensory inputs in the forms of sight, sounds, touch, and learned, taught yourself along the way. This is an organic brain being fed computer data to make it believe it actually exists in a simulated world, and it's also likely sentient. This company essentially just created the Matrix for butterflies, and its consciousness is available for you to rent out. And when no one's using it, it still just continues to exist with no human interaction whatsoever. If the brains really are conscious, as the scientists suggest, they're not gonna know they're this organoid computer brain in a lab hooked up to a virtual simulation. They're gonna believe that they really are that butterfly. If that's the case, what's stopping all of us from being our own organoid brains in some lab in a different dimension? Meaning this, everything we see and experience right now is our own simulation that we've been plugged into, except we're not butterflies, we're humans. And everything we do, every decision we make is not by our own free will, but by some, I don't know, fifth dimensional entity renting server space in our brains, just the same way this Final Spark neural platform lets us do. And when we sleep, maybe our idle brain computational power is used for other purposes, which we experience as dreams. Okay, I'm gonna stop right there. You gotta sleep tonight. Are we really brain organoids, existing in our own petri dishes, connected to and experiencing a fully virtual simulated world? Because we just pulled it off. And according to simulation theory, if we're capable of creating virtual simulated realities, then chances are we're already living in one.
NKV. That is some wild information. Gotta look more into that. But how do y'all feel about that? Do y'all agree with it? Do y'all think it's unethical? Like, let me know what y'all thoughts about it. I'll be honest with you. Like, now if they have some sentience, they could like feel, not only like possibly physically, but emotionally? Do we allow them to become more based in our reality, you know, give them bodies? Or do you just sit up there and just keep them in this simulation space, or just terminate the program altogether? Let me know what y'all would do if y'all was running that, or y'all had any control over that. Would y'all sit up there and keep it going, or y'all cancel it? Let me know. Let me know.
Also known as the multiple kill vehicle, was a gyroscopically stabilized thruster-based interceptor module that was designed specifically to intercept intercontinental range ballistic missiles, specifically ones that are armed with like nuclear warheads. The following video was recorded in 2008 and it shows how the MKV performs instantaneous rotations and directional changes using controlled thruster output.
That looks so fake. But I know it's like the background that throw it off. Environment. That look crazy though.
The MKV project was ultimately canceled in 2009. However, Raytheon is currently developing a brand new redesigned kill vehicle, which is set to debut in 2025.
America.
Was it terminated though? Or was it? Sometimes the practical applications, they apply to different things. So it might have been canceled or put on ice or moved somewhere else to help, you know, maybe flourish some other region up there, you know, scientific endeavors.
We could potentially have a massive problem. The EPA has just issued a drinking water warning to millions of customers. So the Environmental Protection Agency has issued a critical warning about widespread cybersecurity vulnerabilities in the nation's drinking water systems, which could affect millions of Americans. On November 13th, the EPA's Office of Inspector General published a report that assessed 1,062 public drinking water systems, which serve about 193 million people. Now, this report identified 97 systems supplying water to 26.6 million customers with critical or high-risk cybersecurity vulnerabilities. An additional 211 systems serving 82.7 million people were found to have medium to low-risk vulnerabilities. Either way, not good. So the agency has long-standing concerns with cybersecurity-related threats and vulnerabilities facing the water sector. Now, the assessment analyzed more than 75,000 IP addresses and 14,400 web domains, focusing on systems serving populations of 50,000 or more. The vulnerabilities stem from inadequate risk assessments and poor security practices. The report said issues include failure to change default passwords, use of single logins for all staff, and not removing access for former employees. So this is a little unsettling. The report highlighted the potential economic fallout of a cyber-induced water service disruption. A one-day nationwide disruption could jeopardize $43.5 billion in economic activity. For instance, in a single day, if California's water supply was affected, they would result in $61 billion in revenue losses, while a disruption in North Carolina's Charlotte water could amount to losses of $132 million per day. Now, the crazy thing is the EPA doesn't have its own cybersecurity incident reporting system that water and wastewater systems could use to notify the EPA of cybersecurity incidents. Why not? So they solely rely on the three-letter organizations. America, we got a lot going on in the world, and this is not out of the question. So like they said, just be prepared, because at this point, anything can happen.
And you know what's wild about that? Like, we really put our faith and trust into these people, and they don't even make a organization to be like, you know what, it sounds crazy, but we need people to look at terrorism against our water systems and any systems that, you know, we might not think that truly matters. So I don't know. I just really find that crazy. Like, hopefully, like I say, people say Trump an actor. These are a whole bunch of actors. We like living in the Truman Show. I don't know. I really be honest with you. I'm really one of them guys. I got to see it. I got faith in things, but at the end of the day, I could be wrong. Like, I believe Jesus was real. You know, I believe Jesus died on that cross. Now, Jesus could be numerous type of things. He could be a divinity. He could be from a different universe. It's so many different things we could get into with that. I don't know. And honestly, I just hope he mess with me. That's all I can hope. I pray, you know, at the end of the day, hopefully he mess with y'all too. So, and we all, you know, hopefully we go to a good place when our time is done. But while we here, we got to make sure we put people in the right positions. But I think things so complicated. I think they make us sheep believe we doing things and we're really not doing things. They put people in positions to where it's a script, possibly like this is what you're going to do and this how you're going to do it. So let me know y'all thoughts about that. Do y'all think it's a script, or do y'all think, like, you know, we really got people in positions that really can dictate things, or are they puppets? Just let me know. I'm curious.
A federal court upheld a law that could result in TikTok being banned. You said you're going to rescue TikTok when you get into office. Are you going to take steps to protect it?
Yeah, and as you know, I use TikTok very successfully in my campaign. I have a man named TikTok Jack. He was very effective, obviously, because I won youth by 30%. All Republicans lose youth. I don't know why. Maybe it's changing. And last time we were down 30% with youth. This time we're up 35% with youth. And I use TikTok, so I can't really, you know, I can't totally hate it. It was very effective. But I will say this, if you do that, something else is going to come along and take its place. And maybe that's not fair. What they're doing, and really what the judge actually said, was that you can't have Chinese companies. In other words, they have the right to ban it if you can prove that the Chinese companies own it. That's what the judge actually said.
So are you going to try to protect TikTok, just very quick, once you're in office?
I'm going to try and make it so that other companies don't become an even bigger monopoly.
Okay.
Because that's what happens.
Tried to warn us, and
See, nah, he didn't agree or disagree. So TikTok could still be held to the flame. I don't know, like, but I do see a lot of like division on there. Like, it's certain stuff, like with my people, you know, the copper people, we show a lot like, oh, we're Americans, or we gonna get superpowers, like the super Netflix TV show. I don't know how true that is. And I pay attention to it, but I try to stay away from it because I believe something truly want to divide us all, you know, think we're enemies with one another. Now, if that's the thing, you know, we just gonna have to, the best people win. But I hate to even think like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's weird to me. It really is, when you could love anybody, have kids with anybody, you know. Of course, no disrespect if we talk about men and women. But I just truly just can't wrap certain things around my mind. I just don't get it. You know, like when I seen a video one time, a white dude talk about my ancestors. Motherfucker, you don't know where you came from. That you track your whole lineage. Do you not know if it could have been somebody mixed black in there? You don't know, bro. Like, it's just certain weird stuff that I think we have to have better leaders to deliver things so it comes across better, and we all could just coexist on this planet. Because that's all we got is one another. And if it's a threat, and I ain't even trying to be rude, from what I've seen in American history, every time it's been a big problem, and I ain't even trying to like cause problems, my fellow Americans, my white Americans, who y'all always go get? We fill in a blank. Who we always go get, regardless of any war we've been in, the Civil War, who people go get. So that's all I'm gonna say. So I think, you know, a lot of value need to be distribute better, because I ain't trying to, like I say, cause problems. I watch a lot of things. I've been in a lot of gyms, and I'm gonna be real with you. Unless they own something, it ain't too many guys that, one, they can't run to keep up with me. They can't shoot. I know a little something. I'm teachable. So I see things to where it's like, I think we got to appreciate one another better, because we all got things. Like my people, the copper people, might, not all of us, but some of us is ignorant how the media portray. But I see a lot of other people too that I'm like, you some ignorant guys too, out of shape guys too. So I think all the judging just caused more strife, you know. Other than that, it's kind of weird. And I tell y'all this, you know, long as it ain't got like, long as it makes sense, hey, I'm telling you, I'll get a hell of a soldier out of me. But at the end of the day, we just need to stick together. I think that division is meant to separate us on purpose. I think it's some plan, it's something going on. Part of me believe it might be, it ain't even, it's things doing this to us that's not human. I believe that. That's not human. You never know. It could be something called the hidden ones that maybe it's vampires. I know I'm going on a little rant here and I apologize. But what if it's like some vampire type creature that look human or could shapeshift and they actually making up these so-called conspiracy theories, even though it's truly just a theory, and they creating like, okay, reptilians, these different beings. Or what if they really are these beings, but they just blaming them to make it seem like they the bad guys, but in actuality, it's this whole species that we don't even know about living amongst us, causing strife, because that's what they feed off of. I don't know. I just was thinking about that the other day.
Called him crazy. Now that he's in charge, he is not going to keep quiet. The CDC says 40 million Americans are infected with paraworms. So why are we calling him crazy? Countries all over the world are very aware of these, and that's why they do cleanses or detoxes 3 to 4 times a year. So if you have kids, have pets, eat meat, sushi, pork, it could be time for a cleanse. Symptoms could be headaches, constant fatigue and exhaustion, digestive issues, gas, bloating, diarrhea, skin issues, acne, rosacea, eczema. They feed off of sugar. So if you constantly are craving sugars, candies, breads, carbs, it could be our little friends. I've been doing them for years and it is always so shocking what I see come out of myself. But I always feel so much better when I'm done. So how do you get rid of these things? It's actually very simple. Using herbs and herbal formulas that people have been using for thousands of years to naturally cleanse and detox their bodies. I always use Dr. CT Paracleanse because it's very gentle and it's made with all natural ingredients. Plus it's in gummy form, so it's really easy to take. You'll take 2 gummies every day for 30 days. It's on sale for only $25. I'm gonna link it below in the orange cart. Results vary from person to person, but you might see some weird things come out of you, but you're gonna feel so much better when you're done.
And sometimes I'll be wondering, like I've been dealing with headaches, like is it parasites, weather change, what's going on here? And you know, I drink tons of water. Somebody was like, make sure you drink your water. Brother, I drink 3 liters of water a day, literally. So like, I'm pretty sure I'm getting if not enough, I'm getting more then. So I just don't understand. Like, you know what I mean? There's certain things out here that they know about and they won't really try to help us. It's like, but I understand there's so many different things that circulate money. So if we sit up here and actually make health the best, then money circulation and slow down with certain things. So it's just a whole bunch of BS, it seems like.
Settling discovery beneath the streets of Britain has sparked widespread concern. Earlier today, maintenance crews working in the underground sewer system near central London reported encountering what they described as unidentified living creatures. According to eyewitness accounts from workers on site, the creatures appeared to exhibit movements and behaviors unlike any known species native to the region. Authorities have not yet released detailed descriptions, but early footage, captured on a worker's mobile device, shows shadowy figures moving through the sewer system, accompanied by guttural sounds. The city council has issued a statement urging the public to remain calm.
I put that in there because I thought that was so crazy. Like, imagine if you was working, they wouldn't have paid me enough to do that one. And it just, plus, if it was probably something like that, we would never know. It would probably been called they had called in the CDC, possibly said it was some contagion, and they would have rounded all that up for sure. Maybe wrong, but I think it would have been a highly good chance that they would have.
The weapon is named the Non-Discernible Microbionoculator in a CIA memo, but it is more commonly known as the heart attack gun. This is how it works. The gun itself is practically a normal .45 with a round sight attached on top, but inside it's quite unique. It works by electricity. Here in the handle of the gun is a small battery that powers everything. The gun fires a small dart. You put the dart in here. When the trigger is pulled, it shoots out almost silently and reaches its target over a surprisingly long distance.
What range does it have? 100 meters, I believe, about.
These darts are a key part of the weapon. They come in different sizes. One of them is so thin that the target doesn't even realize they've been hit.
A special one was developed which potentially would be able to enter the target without perception.
The darts are coated with the shellfish poison, which gives the target an apparent heart attack. In a later iteration, the CIA found a way to freeze the deadly poison into a tiny pellet, so they could fire it directly.
So when it reached the person, it would melt inside them, and the only thing would be like one little tiny red dot on their body, which was hard to detect. There wouldn't be a needle left or anything like that in the person.
But also the toxin itself would not appear in the autopsy?
Now, do the needle absorb into the body also, or does the needle fall or something? Like, I'm thinking possibly the needle absorbs. That's some crazy stuff.
Yes, so that there was no way of perceiving that the target was him.
This is some next level spying. This can detect people and devices in your house by only using Bluetooth. Check this out. Using Bluetooth, I'm able to identify my iPhone, my MacBook, and my watch. And you see for my MacBook, it says lock screen and Wi-Fi is on. If I close my MacBook, it goes right to disable. This can be used to determine how many people are in your house, how many devices. Only use Bluetooth when necessary, and update your devices. Stay safe.
And that's where this book is. Natural cures they don't want you to know about. Cancer. There are cures for cancer. There are ways to prevent cancer. What are some? I mean, without giving away too much of the book. And this, I've been attacked by the FTC and the FDA for making statements that are true. Now, okay. Nobel Prize-winning authors have said this. Doctors around the world have said this. Your body has a pH, okay? If you remember your swimming pool, you tested your pH at acid, alkaline. If your body pH is alkaline, you cannot get cancer. You can't get sick. You can't virtually get sick. Right. Okay? If it's acid, you can get cancer. In my personal observations, every single person who has cancer has an acidic body, acid pH, or it's so acidic that it's dramatically alkaline. Caused by? A whole host of factors. Okay, there's a multitude of things, including the food we eat, even how we think, can turn the body acidic. But the point is, in order to get a person or cure them from cancer, it's simply you get your body to be alkaline. If your body's alkaline, and there's a whole host of ways to get your body alkaline. If your body is alkaline, you cannot get cancer. You cannot get cancer. And if you have cancer, it goes away. That's a cure. It's a natural cure.
Well, America, the list is in.
See, and it might be natural cures to this. Now, the percentage on the success rate, I don't know, right? But at the same time, how can you sit up here and, make $1 off of that? If it's just natural, you could go get some fruits, vegetables, whatever it may be, and, change your whole composition to where you're better. I don't think Uncle Sam like that. We need to start calling Uncle Sam Black Sam, because he be getting busy, bruh. So I don't think it's going. They make too much money, so-called, off of C research.
And it's a whole lot worse than we thought. So recently, there was a 10 million pound meat and poultry recall due to listeria contamination. And only a few products were shown that were contaminated. Well, now we have access to all of them. So first, let me show you the sheer amount of stores that were affected by this thing. That's right, people. Walmart to Target to Aldi's to Trader Joe's to Walgreens, Giant Eagle, you name it. Now, I'm going to put the link in the description, but check out fsis.gov to get the entire product list. So these are just in general the products that were affected, okay? From Boston Market to Jenny Craig. And you've got your Kroger brand, your Meijer brand, your Giant Eagle brand, even El Monterey burritos. You have to understand, this pre-cooked chicken is put in a lot of things, from salads to wraps to pastas to ready-made meals. I mean, I was shocked when I saw some of these products. I mean, like El Monterey, and then just like a ton of off-brands, like Great Value, like I was saying, like Kroger brand, Giant Eagle brand. Yeah, America, this is not good. Listeria is very dangerous, especially if you're pregnant or you're older or if you're immune compromised. For information purposes, if you're pregnant and you get listeria, you could have a stillbirth. You could have a premature birth. Your baby could be born with a serious illness. We're talking about 10 million pounds of meat, people. Like I said, I'm going to put the link in my description, but it's also at fsis.gov. Check it for sure. If you shopped at any of these stores and anything with chicken, please be safe and take care of yourself, America.
I figured out what they doing.
And you know what's crazy to me about all that? Like, where did it get contaminated? Did it get contaminated pre-pack? Did it get contaminated mid-travel? Where did it get the contamination start? And if it got contaminated during the packaging, they don't have no system that like, oh, this dirty, or is we just having no disrespect? We keep trying to go cheap and have these sweatshops do everything. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to nobody. So what is going on here? How does this occur? Is it the chicken? And if not trying to be on no stuff, I really don't like fake meat, mystery meat. But if it truly could prevent all these blue light problems transmitted from animal to human, and it got the same thing, hey, I guess I'd be for it. I'm for the health. And then you gotta think about it, we ain't hurting animals. I don't know if they could feel, I don't know the sentience there with animals. So sometimes, you know, you think about it, we are savages. We a whole bunch of barbarians. So it's kind of get sticky. Let me know your thoughts about that.
And I'm about to connect all the dots. Now, what if I told you that those UFOs in our...
Oh, by the way, please, if you ain't gonna subscribe to me, subscribe to people that actually do way better research. And I don't know, like I said, I ain't gonna co-sign the brother on anything, but I think he put out some great work that's outside the box. You know, subscribe to B-Dale, take a look at B-Dale. I think he's a great guy. You know, from what I've seen, I don't know him personally.
UFOs that they're talking about in the mass media. There are basically drones that has a direct energy weapon that has a space-based laser generating system that can create pestilence. Everything that you're seeing taking place is the epitome of frequency warfare that can engineer asymmetrical biochemical warfare, because the frequencies from the direct energy weapon can cause neurological misfire, it can manipulate your nervous system, and it can also put holes in your auric field and make you depressed. So, it's not a coincidence that the United Healthcare CEO was just unalived, while simultaneously you have these UFOs, which are basically drones that extract direct energy weapon beams that can manipulate your physiology and your neurological capacity. So one thing you got to understand about this simulation that we're living in, everything operates on a cyclum of a cycle, which is a pattern. And those patterns operates on the frequencies of time that is being manipulated by the three-dimensional construct. What you're looking at is a smoke screen, right? It's part of the dualistic paradox of illusions. So what you're seeing in the sky ain't no damn UFOs. Those are drones that have direct energy weapons that's coming from the Luciferian Anunnaki faction, right? Because they are basically working with the Black Hats, which is basically the deep state shadow government that wants to manipulate everything within the factions of the simulation. So that's why the guy at the bottom of this picture, he said that we're on the brink of another shutdown.
So the CIA released a document.
That'd be crazy if we are on the brink of another shutdown. And what do y'all think about that? So y'all think these UFOs really probably emitting frequencies and doing things to maybe alter our state of being? Do y'all think that's occurring? And if so, why? And is it affecting everybody? Or do they know? 12 o'clock rolling around, let's put on our tinfoil hats and we good to go. So let me know what y'all think about that. I find that very interesting. That's a very interesting theory. You know, we got to salute to B-Dale for that. These UFOs might not be actually, what we say, something that beings will ride in. They might actually be a form of a weapon. So who knows? We just have to continue to stay blessed, continue to have faith, continue to love, respect one another, and stick together. And hopefully we can have the discernment to tell the false from the truth. So time will tell, right?
Document saying the universe is a hologram, and basically the document teaches you how to access superhuman abilities as well as use your consciousness to shift your...
See, and this another thing that I'm sorry for pausing it again, but this another thing that makes it extremely difficult for, like, even me, for example. I'm gonna just use me for example. If I did believe in this, right, and I believe that Black people or whoever, I don't know, bro, I don't know. I try not to think that, oh, it's gonna be me, because usually it never is you. You know what I mean? So is this superpower, these shifts Is this a human thing? Is this a certain group of people thing? Let me know what y'all think. But this is another thing. It's literally in the files. I have read this personally, and it gets complicated.
Reality. I'm breaking down this document section by section, and this is part 4. This section is pretty short but very interesting because it talks about the use of the HemiSync. What they noticed is by putting people through the HemiSync system, they could have people access advanced states of meditation, maybe some states that would take the average meditator 20 years to reach, and they could have them reach it pretty much in 10 to 15 minutes. And these states would be where the left and right brain come into complete coherence, so much so that it seems like the whole body and the brain and heart come into coherence as well. Which, for anyone who's familiar with Dr. Joe Dispenza's work, he talks a lot about the power of brain and heart coherence. And for those who don't know, hemi-syncing is when you have a different frequency playing in each ear, both between 4 and 7 hertz. And based on what they're saying here, this accelerates your meditative experience and can help you astral travel or astral project much, much quicker.
Telling you, that's one of the things I wanted to talk.
And I tell y'all this, in my opinion, this is all I'm gonna say on it. Be careful with astral projecting. Be careful with astral projecting. If you would like to know more about what I mean, comment, like, subscribe, and I promise I'll give you the answer. I'm not trying to, weasel my way with more likes, comments, and subscribers, but I have experienced something that I could tell y'all. Man, y'all let me know what y'all think about this. It's something that I experienced astral projecting.
About today is like there's fucking real evil in the world, and in Iraq, we're in Afghanistan, you go into these fucked up places where they've been like, I don't know, fucking raping, beheading people. Like, there was buildings I didn't even want to fucking go in. Like, you'd go and you'd be like, every fucking hair on my body just be standing up, and I'd be at the doorway and be like, I don't even want to clear this fucking building. Only 2 places I felt real evil shit in my life is Gettysburg and fucking in Iraq and Afghanistan. Yeah, I felt that. Like, I did, because I felt evil before, and it like makes me want to throw up. It hurts my stomach.
You mean in the area of Gettysburg?
Yeah, on the battlefield.
My stepfather felt the same thing, and he's not woo-woo at all. He's like a real straight-edge guy.
Fuck, man. And then
said, it's crazy, even me thinking about it. I believe, I'm not 110% sure, but I believe when I was in foster care, me and my foster father, we went through that area, like drove, whatever. I'm a kid. I remember he telling me this Gettysburg, blah, blah, blah. I'm a kid. At this time, I'm like 8, 9 years old. So I just remember like how they explained, like, bruh, I felt sick. I just didn't want to be around there. It was just like, even thinking about it, like it was like, for me, it's like, even I just remember, I get these chills. Like, it's like, even I want to cry. It's hard to really like put it into words. It's like for those who hear that feeling voice. You ever hear that feeling voice? So it's certain things that you just can't really put into words, but you could somewhat explain. And that's what happened with me. So I believe dude know what he's talking about to a certain extent. It might be something going on there. Like, I believe what happens, and tell me what y'all think. I believe it might be a signature that's left behind when extreme emotion or pain or something happens in this area that's not good. You know what I mean? I could be wrong, but I believe it like changes the area from just a spiritual, maybe even it's something that's not spiritual. We got the physical, maybe it's something else that we don't even have the term for currently. I don't know.
Felt so creepy.
I was almost gonna. Me and my son were out there ghost hunting, right? And we were both gonna throw up, and I didn't tell him, but like I had felt that feeling before.
It's crazy that you said that about Gettysburg, because my stepdad's never said anything like that before, and he said just the feeling was so sad and creepy, and you just wanted to get out of there immediately.
Makes me want to throw up, that feeling.
I think places have memory. I really believe that.
Well,
what's crazy is, I swear, y'all, I did not watch this. I do not watch this. It's like I was just telling one of my friends the other day. like theoretically, unless like I had a past life and I have just you know how you just know things. One for the reason it's the memories or the knowledge from my past life that bleed in. I don't know, but sometimes, bro, I be right on the money with things. Maybe it's just like I'm a theorist, so I could like really like put variables together and just figure out things. I don't know, but I always be wondering like, as I get older, it's like I just know more. And I know you'll be like, well, you're learning more. I don't know. But I just seem like I wake up and I just know more. I don't know how to explain it. Like, do any of y'all ever experience that?
I think it's energy, and I don't think it can be created or fucking. You talk to science guys, right? Energy don't go away, right?
Well, I think you just don't see it and you can't measure it, so you assume it's not there. But I think that's one of the reasons why when someone gets murdered in a house, they have to tell you about it.
Who is the most powerful person in America?
Oh, I don't think anybody would probably know their name. You know, they're sort of behind the scenes. But certainly people who on this committee, like Admiral Wilson, now he was Deputy Director of CIA, then he was the Director of the National Security Agency, then he moved on to the board of, wait for it, Science Applications International Corporation.
Who's this?
Admiral Bobby Randman. So that's where the action is. I think the center of gravity isn't in the government at all.
Was Mr. Bush Sr. ever one of these high-ranking people that was on the inside, or no?
Oh, absolutely. George H.W. Bush?
Yes.
Yes, W, no. But George H.W. Bush, he was the one who threatened Bill Clinton. But stay quiet, there's none of your business. I have a witness to Mr. Clinton sharing that.
George H.W. Bush Sr.
Yes, that's none of your business, butt out. Because Mr. Clinton had stood up what's called Red Team. Red Team was a military special operation the blue team was conventional military, black team were these illegal operations. Clinton had authorized, I have a whole document.
Well, damn, why everything got to be like black? That's like, it's just, it ain't good, champ. Like, that's crazy work to me.
Document on this. And these were people trying to infiltrate these illegal black projects, but most of them either got absorbed or killed. And eventually, George H.W. Bush said, back off. This is none of your business.
Did he?
Oh, yeah, absolutely he did. That's why they became fast friends.
You have no idea. Do you know who these two are? If you know who they are, comment who you think they are below, but don't cheat. I bet most.
I'm gonna say I seen something the other day from Penny Dreadful. I don't think that's a great show. Watch it if y'all ever get a chance. But I believe that might be like Aminette and maybe Ra or Bob. I don't know.
Most of you won't. And when I reveal it, most of you won't believe it. You were taught that it was a debate whether gods are real or not. This is not up for debate. They are all real and they can be tracked through history, and there's a book that proves this. But first you must hear this story, because this is Asherah, and him, well, just listen to the story. In the beginning, El the Most High stood on the divine mountain with all of his wives. Yes, all of his wives, and one of which was Asherah, the highest goddess of the land. They created altogether 70 children. You know, and one of them was Baal, another one was Yam, and another one was Mot, the Lord of Death. El also formed humanity. And he charged them with protecting Earth, but they grew ambitious. They started building civilizations. They started draining the land. Heartbroken, El leaves, and he leaves the humanity, or the humans, to his children, the gods, one of which was Yahweh, who was ambitious. Now, he was given Israel, but he wanted more. He claimed El's throne along with El's former wife, Asherah. And he claimed that he was going to stop the gods and, due to their corruption, take their positions on earth. And he formed the earth into what you now know as today. So that story is taken from the stories of El, which you can find in the Canaanite culture and obviously also in the Bible. El was the god of both groups of people, because both groups of people are really the same people. Why doesn't the church teach you about this? That's because all of these gods are more real than they even know. There's an actual real way to track these gods and their impact on humanity through time. You need to read this book, World War Gods, the Biography of Yahweh. It breaks it all down for you. Some of you are wondering, why does Yahweh have horns? Read these. You're going to have to pause it. Look at this. Understand that gods used to be depicted with horns. That is Yahweh and Asherah. There he also has horns. That's an ancient depiction. Also, if you're wondering where does it say that the Most High is Yahweh's father, this is a good place to start.
Why if these was like special beings during the time that was born, like, you know, toothless? Why if it's something like that? I know that sounds crazy, but I don't know. I'm trying to make it make sense.
Read this book if you have a certain level of understanding, if you're not stuck in dogma. I love you all. Peace.
Billy's trying to sue me because I got him on a podcast with a real.
Now, I'm going to say this. I like Billy Carson. I don't take everything he say as a word of gospel. But at the end of the day, sometimes you wrong, bro. That's why I try to say I believe, you know, because sometimes I don't like talking like everything is a fact. Like 1 plus 1 equals 2. 20 years from now, that could be wrong. I don't know. So it's just one of them things I try to be very mindful. You know, it's what I believe is true. This is what I've read, but I could be wrong. What you think?
Historian who debunked all his BS in terms of Christianity.
Maybe he wasn't crucified.
Yes, the debate freaking took place with Billy Carson and Wesley Huff.
Yeah.
Can't go on.
Right,
we can do a follow-up.
I really appreciate it, Billy. Thanks so much for interacting. I just had an obstacle thrown at me yesterday. Some crazy crap happened from somebody that I really thought was a close friend. And this person did some diabolical, backstabbing stuff just yesterday.
Diabolical backstab. Billy, please explain to me how getting somebody on an interview with you, which we told you about, is diabolical and backstabbing. You knew exactly what you were walking into, but you were probably too lazy to do your own research because clearly you don't know how to do that.
And with that snarkiness, when I see that, like for me, if I'm trying to enlighten somebody or show like I believe this man is spreading false gospel, I'm not gonna be snarky about it. Like if I'm wrong, you wrong, I'm gonna sit up here and say, okay, well, show me I'm never gonna be this guy. This guy is just to me. So I asked myself, did you try to make him look like a fool on purpose? Was that your agenda the whole time? Like, I disagree with this man. I dislike this man. This man is lying. Why if he just misunderstand? Why if he just wrong? Why if he assumed? Why if it's a theory that he ran with as a fact? You know what I mean? When you trying to tell the truth, just the snarkiness to me, that could go. So I asked myself, how genuine was you his friend? Was you there the whole time? Trying to sit up there and get close to tear all what he accomplished down? Because Billy Carson built something, regardless of what may be true and what may not. He has done something. From what I've heard, everyone he took to Egypt, he haven't stole money from nobody. He haven't when he said the Sinai Bible, Jesus' crucifixion isn't in there. Like, what's crazy is this been the thing the whole time, and everybody knew this. I didn't do the research because I'll be honest with y'all, I didn't care. Oh, that's interesting. Like, I've read somewhere that Jesus went to Japan. I got to find the article. I think I got screenshots in my phone. But at the end of the day, he went to Japan. He got like a whole tomb in Japan or something. I don't know how true that is. But remember, we only know Jesus, his life in his 30s. And that's why when people be like, oh, the life of Jesus, we don't know the life of Jesus, because the life of Jesus is the life of Jesus from birth all the way to death, correct? So you can't say you know the life of Jesus if you missing parts of his saga. So that's just my opinion. Let me know if I'm wrong.
And you didn't look up who Wesley was. And because you came face to face with a real historian and linguist, the fraudulent documents you like to claim as truthful have nothing to stand on. You didn't like that you got exposed.
This is insane. Wesley Huff is about to correct Billy Carson on the Sinai Bible.
According to the Sinai Bible, Jesus wasn't crucified in that Bible.
Do you mind if I ask a clarifying question?
Sure.
When you say the Sinai Bible, what are you referring to specifically? Refer to the Sinai Bible. Would you be referring to Codex Sinaiticus? Like the codex that comes... Okay, that's why I was trying to get some clarification. Because I actually have a facsimile. So I have a photocopy of Codex Sinaiticus that I work with in my office. So I have it here. And the only reason I asked for clarification is because Sinaiticus in particular is just a 4th century Greek manuscript. Its text of the Gospels reads almost identical to the modern Greek text that we develop translations from. When you say that it denies the crucifixion or that the crucifixion isn't there, I mean, I can go on right now, Codex Sinaiticus, and I can look up Matthew 27. Where it has Jesus being crucified, and that's in Codex Sinaiticus, or John 19, or any of the other ones. So my confusion is that it doesn't read any differently.
Where was that piece
I found
discovered?
the text where I was referencing, actually, I misquoted there. It's the Gospel of Barnabas. Never got crucified. As a matter of fact, the Sinai Bible, Jesus was crucified. Well, that doesn't exist in the Sinai Bible. The Sinai Bible. But then you go to the Sinai Bible, in the Sinai Bible, and the Sinai Bible. According to the Sinai Bible, Jesus wasn't crucified in that Bible.
Wouldn't it be crazy if the alleged...
And sometime, bro, I was wrong. It ain't no misquoted. I was wrong. I misspoke. I thought I knew something that I didn't know about. I have to go back to, the books and do more research. But that's why I always try to I ask other people questions that are seniors. They got some type of years in this. They've been in whatever this field for a very long time, because I could be wrong. What do you think about this? Like when I be talking to some of my police friends, I'll be like, hey, this, and this. What is this? What is this? What is this trafficking and this trafficking? It's the same. So what's the difference? Oh, okay. So I thought it was this. I was wrong. You see what I'm saying? But that's me, because I don't care. I rather look like an idiot in the moment than be where Billy is and look like an idiot to everybody. It's just one of them things. That's why I try to always have a student mindset. Always have a student mindset. I'm not even to that teacher saga yet. I'm gonna show you things, but I'm never a teacher. I could show you things, but I'm never a teacher. Once I become a teacher, you my disciple, motherfucker. Sorry, but that's what it is. Once I teach you, we are master and disciple at that point. And that's just what it's gonna be just the way I look at things. So I look at a lot of people, like I hit this dude up on TikTok. He really, make adjustments, different things. He seemed like he really I like the guy. I asked him, I said, can you teach me different things? Will you be able to show me how to be better? Most people won't do that. I don't care. I just want to be better. I'd rather know. So whenever it's time to apply this knowledge, I'm in a good position to apply the knowledge. I know how to apply the knowledge, So other than that, everybody each his own. But that's what I do. Always have a student mindset.
Las Vegas shooter Stephen Paddock was a known gun runner for the Saudi prince? And wouldn't it be crazy if the Prince of Saudi Arabia, a man named Al Walid, owned the top levels of Mandalay Bay, including the 32nd floor, where the shooting is said to have taken place? And wouldn't it also be crazy if King Salman, that would be the king of Saudi Arabia, was actually in Las Vegas that night, October 17th, staying just down the street at the Tropicana? Wouldn't it be crazy if there's footage available on the internet of what appears to be, they call it a SWAT team, but it looks more to me like private security team, or maybe a group of Saudi assassins moving through hotel lobbies? Wouldn't it be crazy if at the time of the shooting, Prince Al Walid was attempting a coup in Saudi Arabia? He wanted to take King Salman out. And wouldn't it be crazy if the Mandalay Bay had a helicopter pad which could have been utilized for escape routes? And wouldn't it be crazy if this whole thing was actually a botched assassination attempt?
With mucus, so it goes through the body more like a mop instead of a broom. Okay. It leaves that slimy layer as it goes through meal after meal, and that builds up, and it's why we all have bulging bellies as we age. It's not fat, all fat. A lot of it's uneliminated waste matter.
What are the problems caused when that food does not come out?
Well, we literally create our own personal cesspool. And this makes us smell bad, and look bad, and feel bad, and think bad, and even act bad. It's the cause of illnesses and ill behavior. Most of us just don't have any idea what's going on inside of us. And when you do what it takes to get rid of that waste matter, you won't believe what will come out of you. Now, the pictures are up on the TV right now. There's a healthy colon on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, there are 6 X-ray pictures of actual colons. And look how twisted and bent out of shape they are.
Yeah.
And this is what happens when we put in the wrong food. It just doesn't go through the system the right way. It takes too long. And if it doesn't come out fast enough, it causes problems. I know this for a fact because I found out about this when I was playing competitive tennis. I was exercising 7-8 hours every day, 50 hours every week. Got my body fat percentage down to 5.8%. But I still had a small bulge down here, and I couldn't figure out why I didn't have a little 28-inch waist. Well, now I know it wasn't fat.
If you eat a lot of processed foods or fast foods in general, this is probably what your colon looks like right now and is the reason why you feel terrible.
These are pictures of uneliminated waste matter, which is the residue from my natural foods. The 20 pounds of filth that came out of me looked exactly like this. And
20 pounds?
I had 20 pounds
of stuff that had just been stuck in there for years?
As soon as you're able to remove all that toxic sludge that is building up inside of you, you can begin to see insane changes to your health. However, the most popular method to cleaning out your gut is fasting, which can be pretty extreme because people go days without eating just to flush all that stuff out. However, there are much easier alternatives to cleaning out your whole system with natural.
And that's what I'm about to do. Like right now, I'm about to go on like another 72-hour plus fast. I might hit 100 hours, just nothing but liquids. I just want to see something, you know what I'm saying? Like, because at the end of the day, My health is everything to me. So we gonna do this experiment.
Remedies that you've probably heard from Barbara O'Neill or Dr. Sebi. One that is talked about a lot and is one of my personal favorites is this Soursop bitters that is full of all natural remedies that clean you out. One of the most notable ingredients in here is the senna, which is a natural laxative that will help flush everything out, and all these other natural ingredients will eliminate that bad gut bacteria, clean out your gut, clean the organs, clean everything along the way. Now, instead of having to do something extremely radical like fasting for 5 days, you can just take 2 tablespoons of this liquid daily and you will see amazing results. Aside from the benefits you're already getting from this remedy, you can expect a wide range of additional benefits just from cleaning out your gut. If your overall general health has been really terrible lately, it could all be linked back to your gut. If you guys want to try this out, Serene Herbs is on TikTok Shop. I'm gonna have this linked in the orange card down there for you guys to try. They have other amazing products there too that you can also check out.
If a CME or an EMP hit the US, do you know how to protect your home? Let me show you. Right here, how to protect your house from an EMP. Shows how it works, the tools needed, instructions, takes 30 minutes, medium difficulty, with all the pictures. Can also protect your car and generator from an EMP. You want to know how to communicate in a blackout. If the US ever suffered a major blackout, this book is going to be your best bet, and I think every household should have a copy. You can make your own electricity, build a Faraday cage, build a fuel storage and preserve it. You also want to learn how to collect water, how to store that water, and how to purify that water. Build your own aquaponic system, make your own medicinal garden. This book is selling out fast and already sold out once. No Grid Survivals Project book. I'm going to leave an orange shopping cart link here so you can get yours today.
There's been some videos surfacing of a Chinese police robot ball that's capable of helping apprehend criminals by firing nets out. It goes on patrol with the police officers in the streets.
What was the movie? It was some movie to where it was like a ball and it was like alien, like it had like red eyes in it. It was a ball. Was it? I don't think it was Terminator. It was something. It was just crazy though.
Apparently, this thing's equipped with artificial intelligence that helps guide it along, and it can operate autonomously. From what I've read up on it, it can effectively operate in a variety of different conditions, including off-road terrain and also in the water. It can float, it can roll on smooth asphalt, and it can also go off-road if it needs to. Apparently, it can even fall from a significantly high height and continue moving and be unfazed. It's capable of traveling at speeds of up to 35 kilometers per hour and can even utilize that as a means to conduct offensive maneuvers against criminals that it's trying to apprehend. It can also link up with other balls and coordinate with them in order to help police officers on the ground apprehend suspects. From what I've read, it's also pretty durable. Now, I don't know how long this thing's been around, but the videos I started seeing about it started surfacing in October of 2024.
What did you think of Iraq?
Strategically, taking out Saddam, fucking horrible for the world. Look where we are now.
Yeah.
Should have left that motherfucker. I'd have pumped him full of all kinds of shit to fucking beat Iran again. You know what I mean? However, we gave it all away. It's a fucking shit show, just like Afghanistan.
You know what's crazy? I like this old dude. I don't even know who he is like that, but I like this old dude. Like he just like you know when you like cut from a similar cloth. I feel like I'm cut just like. I don't know, it's something about him that I just like on the no homo, like, you know, I just like the dude. Like he seemed like a good, like he could teach you something. Like he seemed like a good man. I could be wrong, but he give me them vibes.
But the reality is this is how it fucking goes. You know what I mean? Don't get upset. It's the fine print. You should have read it.
Do you think we should have ever been there in the first place?
I think there's no benefit to fucking taking Saddam out. I also thought there was no benefit. You know, Afghanistan, Mullah Omar came out years later and said, George Bush gave us 48 hours and invaded at hour 40. He said if he would have gave me full 48 hours, his answer was give up bin Laden.
No shit. I did not know that either.
The shit the fucking media doesn't like to put out.
How do you know that?
Because I read.
Where did you read that?
Oh, man, I don't even remember. But yeah, he wanted to give up bin Laden and we attacked too soon. And then he was like, fuck him.
Interesting. Almost like we wanted the war.
Imagine that. Now, I wanted the war too. Don't get me wrong. I was 100% for that shit. Rocket, mortars, fucking send it. Let's go. No one dies on Bragg, you know? So I was all for it. But strategically, meh, you believe in your bosses. Sometimes they get it wrong. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Did you experience loss of a teammate ever?
Yeah, fuck yeah, all the time. Even in training, man. Like, man, the guy I was partnered with in Bosnia all the time, fucking rollerblade took the top of his head off one night, like Thursday Night Live fire, you know?
Holy shit.
Yeah, people die.
Did that affect you at all?
No.
It
Why?
didn't.
Fucker, you died doing what you love? I'd fucking high five you for that. I'd high five myself for that. You know what I mean? Like, you died doing the one thing you're here for. Not a better death.
How many teammates have you lost?
People are telling these real life stories of.
See, and he got a hell of a perspective. Like, I got a similar perspective. Like, when it comes to like losing your parents, I think we teach people wrong. We need to embrace. Like, we are so attached to a person. Like, we know people got to go, and people like, oh, they're balling. I'm not trying to judge nobody, but like, bro, I was 11 years old. I didn't cry at my father's funeral because I was the only one here by myself, alone. All these people looking at me, and I just felt like I had to be strong. I had to be strong. So at the end of the day, I just feel like it's okay to cry, but be happy, appreciate, remember them. You know what I mean? We just, oh, I missed them. This ain't gonna never be the same. That may be true, but they taught you a lot of stuff along the way. They always with you in your memories. And you just got to continue to live for them and yourself. That's all you can do. But I just think it's a lot of perspectives is the way you're taught.
I met a vampire in New Orleans. I was bartending at a bar and I met a vampire. I took a ride home in an Uber and this guy told me about this vampire that I met. And there are so many stories. And one of them was this woman swearing that one of the Carter.
And that's where I was getting the vampire theory. I heard this earlier and it just clicked. I was like, what if it's vampires messing with us? Our mortal enemies really got us on this, like, they like, bro, what if it's bigger than what we know? And there's some wild stuff. I don't know, but one of vampires is at the center, or a vampire-like creature.
Brothers came into her bar.
Yeah. If you know of New Orleans, like this story is one of the more popular lores around town. Like if weird things are happening, it's a Carter brother.
My sources inside one of these cartels sent me a video of how they were torturing the chief of police of that town. He's like, you want to know who's really in charge? Have a look at this shit. Like 12 in the night, send me that video out and showed me how they were torturing the chief of police of the town. And he's like, we rule this town, man. So if you want to talk to someone, it's us. And then on the video, they pop him. You can see he's on his knees and then
killed him.
Out. And Michoacan is crazy, man. That place is crazy because it's different cartels, probably 5 or 6 different powerful criminal organizations fighting against each other.
I know who they are.
Well, who are they?
Well, the Alpha Draconis.
Yes.
Well, they're the top. They're the big. They're like dinosaurs. So we'll go to this. We'll go to this real quick. There was a split on Earth. Then you had Atlantis and you had Lemuria. And Lemuria, you had the reptilian form that we know as, or they know as, or we know as. And in Atlantis, you had the Syrian blonde blues, right?
The Syrian what?
Blonde blues.
Blonde blues. Blue-eyed.
Blonde-haired. Lyra.
Yeah.
Those are the original human beings. Okay, so there was 2 continents.
Yeah. Sumeria and Atlantis.
Way pre-Sumeria. I'm talking about just Lemuria, or Mu, and Atlantis. Just 2 continents on this planet. No bits and pieces, just 2 continents.
And this was when the planet was much smaller?
But
much denser. The gravity field was much bigger.
There was also a field around the outside that kept the water, kept the temperature at the same temperature at all time.
So the whole planet had one weather system at one.
All the time. All the time. It's kept the same, and it was a bubble that kept the same way, and so that was all good. But that particular Draconis system lost in a war. With not talking about Marduk or Mars, not talking about that, or the 100,000 Year War, not talking about that. This is the gem, we're fighting for that. That particular Draconis group lost. They got pushed underground. They got fucked and they got lost and they got pushed underground.
When you're saying underground, you're talking about the inner Earth.
Right.
When did the Chinese land on the moon?
I have no idea.
2013. Did you ever see the video?
No.
So the Chinese landed on the moon in 2013, and they released a video for it. But pretty quick, that video was taken down, and they said, no, it's just a joke, because it was so bad. It was so fake. Because they didn't have, Kubrick, You need a better production staff and better cameras if you guys want to fake this.
The sad thing is, you cannot fix stupidity, and that's what's happening here.
Cognitive dissonance is probably exactly what it is. Is that they've been in echo chambers for so long, that's all they have. Well, we did it as a society, For how many, even when you're in grade school, and they give you the globe, or they talk about the man on the moon, all the stuff they teach you in grade school about stuff that I could challenge right now, They teach us a lot of stuff that we hear over and over and over again that we take it for granted. That's what happened. I don't want to do this anymore because I don't believe what you guys are peddling on either side. But I do get a kick out of Tucker because he has pretty good humor and he does come up with some good points sometimes to make me think. I don't believe what he says just because he says it. He makes me think about some stuff. And then I have to go research and I figure some stuff out and I find out my own. And that's what everybody should be doing. But nobody does that because we live in like this McDonald's fast food society.
They actually found it. Archaeologists in Turkey have announced they might have discovered the sarcophagus of Santa Claus near the Church of St. Nicholas in Demre, Turkey, which is believed to be his original burial place. Now,
he might have been like not trying to like compare him to Jesus, but maybe he was like Jesus to them. Like St. Nick was like really a good dude. He was like a pope type. I don't know. We're gonna get into the story, but I like to speculate before I find that's just me. I like to, what could this be? And then I like to see if my thoughts correlate or is it wrong.
Santa Claus was real, sort of. Originally a Greek bishop by the name of St. Nicholas, who was known for many miracles and of course his generosity through his love of giving gifts, which is where we get Santa from. He lived in the ancient city of Myra, now Turkey, where in the centuries following his passing in 343 AD, the Church of St. Nicholas was built over the area where he served and was originally buried. But in the 11th century, his remains were thought to have been moved to the Basilica di San Nicola in Italy, and were moved around to different sacred sites throughout Italy during the Crusades and all that. So for hundreds of years, we just kind of thought that was it. Santa Claus's bones were all over the place. But now they believe to have found his actual tomb fully intact. A limestone sarcophagus about 2 meters in length with a raised triangular lid that actually matches historical records of what his coffin was supposed to look like. So far, only the lid has been uncovered, and they're continuing to excavate the entire burial chamber with the hopes of finding some sort of inscription in the sarcophagus that can tell us Santa Claus confirmed in the months to come.
How do you guys feel about Mexico?
Santa Claus gonna rise and become a Vampire Claus, and he gonna get us. He gonna get everybody, send his vampire elves after us, and it's up. Then the hidden ones take over.
And Canada potentially becoming states. President-elect Donald Trump recently sat down for an interview and talked about how the United States has been subsidizing Canada and Mexico for a number of years, and he suggested the idea of potentially making them a state.
We're subsidizing Canada to the tune of over $100 billion a year. We're subsidizing Mexico for almost $300 billion. We shouldn't be subsidizing. Why are we subsidizing these countries? If we're going to subsidize them, let them become a state. We're subsidizing Mexico, and we're subsidizing Canada, and we're subsidizing many countries all over the world. And all I want to do is I want to have a level, fast, but fair playing field.
First off, I'd like you all to...
And that's why I always say, me personally, I think when we first had like them nuclear weapons, we should have told the world, like how we go everywhere and spread democracy, we should have tried to just say either y'all get with our program and y'all come under our regime, or things get tight for y'all. You see what I'm saying? Because we was the only ones with them at the time. I think while we had them, we should have got people up through. This could have been one nation for real, under God, for real. But the world.
Try to say subsidizing 10 times as fast as you can. He said subsidizing quite a bit. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Do you think it would be worth it to annex 2 countries that are connected to us? I mean, I know our friends up in Canada would love it because they would be able to get all their guns back and probably have a little bit more freedom as well. But I don't know if Mexico would be as keen. I don't know.
I mean, they do like their healthcare, so I don't know. That healthcare big for a lot of people.
See if you can identify what Soviet weapon system this is.
The way it just dropped in there, that's some crazy work. Do it. What take it so long? Is it just slowly like winding up? Imagine the chemicals and that get spreaded through the water because of that. Wow, that's crazy. Water is on fire. The water.
I've never seen anything like that before. Obviously, they look like cruise missiles that eject out of the ship and then they sit there dormant in the water for a second before they actually, like, the actual flight motor kicks in. That is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I don't think I've ever seen a video of that. If anyone knows what that is, please enlighten us.
America, this is not good. University Hospital's patient under isolation after arriving from Democratic Republic of Congo. Wait till I tell you what's going on in the Congo. A terrifying new flu-like disease has unalived 179 people, mostly teens, and healthy officials have no idea what it is. Well, guess what? It's in Ohio, people. Out of Westlake, Ohio, University Hospitals say staff are utilizing proper masking and isolation protocols after a patient arrived to UH St. John Medical Center Emergency Department with flu-like symptoms. Now, according to a spokesperson, the patient recently traveled from the Democratic Republic of Congo. The patient ultimately ended up at UH St. John Medical Center's emergency department with flu-like symptoms. You guys, when I say this disease in Congo is not good, I mean it is not good. The unidentified disease has infected at least 300 people in the Democratic Republic of Congo since November 10th, causing flu-like symptoms including fever, headaches, coughing, breathing difficulties, and anemia. Well, America, it just might be here. And of all places, Ohio, right by where I live. Please tell me this is not our country.
And I'm F because I'm in Ohio and Westlake is like, damn street, y'all. And I've been having headaches. So I haven't had like no flu, like, but I've been having headaches. So if y'all don't hear from y'all boy, at least run up my channel. Run up the channel so at least my boy could be all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least he could be all right. I'm getting one right now.
This is literally the last thing we need.
This is one of the weirdest things I've come across. There was this prophecy of a Hopi chief. This prophecy goes back to before the white man was in America. He had this whole sketch. They didn't have a written language, but he like predicted really crazy stuff. He said there's this separation at the end of this drawing. It could either be chaos or it could be the coming of the Great Spirit again. It boiled down to one individual. It is known that our true white brother, when he comes, will be all powerful and will wear a red cap or a red cloak. He will bring with him the sacred stone tablets. With him there will be two great ones. One will have the symbol, it looked like it just an X. And when I read that, just chills went down. He mentioned that the man
went back in time
with the X symbol. He said he will be a man of great invention.
I'm just now understanding the X reference. Yeah. Okay. Wow.
When it talked about the sacred tablets, that was
we talked about the Mar-a-Lago.
We talked about the Mar-a-Lago Ark of the Covenant thing. It's just weird.
Yeah.
They've been hiding this from you. The Vatican archives aren't just old documents. They hold proof of ancient gods with advanced technology. But that's not even the craziest thing that was recently discovered. In leaked Vatican correspondence, there are hints of hidden texts saying, "These writings contain knowledge forbidden to the public." The archives have been guarded for centuries, so what are they hiding? This is where things get scary. In newly revealed whistleblower accounts, it's said that the Vatican archives aren't just historical records, but contain evidence of an advanced ancient civilization known as the Viracochas. The accounts specifically mention that the Viracochas, worshipped as gods, left behind documents and artifacts that detail advanced technologies and lost histories. However, once these documents were found, their contents were concealed, and the true history of the Viracochas was hidden to maintain the Church's control over historical narratives. This explains why access to the Vatican archives is so restricted and why the contents remain one of the world's most guarded secrets.
I told you
you The Matrix was right when it said 1999 was the peak of human civilization. Think about it. At the end of the 20th century, we had the perfect mix. Technology was exciting, but not invasive. The internet was a tool, not a cage. And we still valued face-to-face connections. In the movie, they called it living in a dream world, maybe because we believed everything they told us. Civilization was living in a bubble, shielded from the ugly truths of the system. They also said, at some point in the early 21st century, all of mankind was united in celebration. We marveled at our own magnificence as we gave birth to AI. Prophetic, isn't it? Because right now we're doing just that, celebrating AI, letting it write, create, and even think for us. But here's the scary part. The more it does, the less we do. Just like they said, the moment AI started thinking for us, it stopped being our civilization and started being theirs. And here's the kicker: evolution, Morpheus, evolution. And that line wasn't just about machines getting smarter. It's about humanity giving up control, letting the systems we created define what evolution even means. We've gone from shaping the world to being shaped by it. So where is this all heading? A society where algorithms make all the big decisions, where we're plugged into screens 24/7, living in curated realities. It's what they warned us about, but we don't even see it because we're too busy marveling at how convenient everything's become. The Matrix didn't just predict the future, it showed us the path we were already on. And the question is, do we keep walking it, or do we finally wake up? I'm gonna go ahead and say this is just a joke for entertainment purposes.
I tell you this, y'all. When it comes to that, I'll be honest, like, we might be stuck. We might not be able to get away from this, you know, and it been nothing but predictions along the way. Terminator, iRobot, you know, all these things that shows that AI, we should just use it as a tool, but it's getting too far advanced to where the tool gonna start using us. We might be put into a situation where they like, you know, we got to put them like the X-Men. Remember with the mutants and the rest of the humans, they got, after they exterminate the mutants, they put the rest of the humans in like this ecosystem. That's like a zoo. So, I mean, we got to sit up here and really like be very careful with the decisions we make as a whole. But other than that, I appreciate everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed the video today. Hopefully I ain't talked too much for you. Hopefully I did talk too much for those that like me to talk. But keep your head up. Have faith in something. Have a plan. Like, comment, and subscribe. Hopefully you have a good time.